and a Golden Angel Award ceremony.
Hello, dear friends, my lovely audiences. Welcome to the East-West show that is exclusively sponsored by Wolfers, the Belgian royal family designated brand of jewelry that has 400 years of glorious history, hand-forged by 10 generations of master craftsmen, which stands for a testimony for the spectacular and a share of the royal family, royal glory. So with that, we start the show with my dear friend, and I believe dear friend to everybody in Southern California, former assemblyman of 55 District of Assembly House of California, and now the chairman of the San Bernardino County Board of Supervisors, and the chairman of the Small Business Organization of the county, and also he is the commissioner of the Ontario International Airport. All right, you have so many hats.
Comes with the job, yes.
Yeah,
it's great to be back, Jack.
I have to cancel some.
Yeah.
If I read the whole thing,
Oh, yeah.
I have to cancel the show, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so welcome to the show.
It's great to be back.
Right. And I've noticed that you lost some weight and you put on some color.
Trying on both.
Right?
Yeah. You have lots
good.
of sun in San Bernardino County.
Yeah, been busy all the time, right? I've been hearing news about you all the time, and I tried to call the office, left a message of congratulations. Did Margie let you know that?
And I'm not sure she did or not, but I'll go back and check how long ago. Was that a while? Yeah.
Very good, very good. And now I hear the exciting news that Ontario is becoming our international airport with several direct flight.
We're working on, and the background, the history of Ontario Airport is about 30 to 40 years. Los Angeles Airport operated and managed the Ontario International Airport. They do that with a lot of the feeder airports around the area. We were successful about 3 years ago in making a deal with the Mayor Eric Garcetti and LAWA board to buy it back. So it's now owned by San Bernardino County and the City of Ontario in a joint partnership.
I see.
So since we took it over, it's been just going crazy. We were up about 30% in passengers and about a little more than that in cargo growth, and it's exciting to watch. It's a new field.
30%, that's a big rate.
Yeah, in 2.5 years, it's been growing quite rapidly.
Oh yeah, that's big. Of course, everything is much easier said than done, right? So I believe in the very beginning, from history, the time I came over 35 years from China, right? And that was the time assigned, the airport of Ontario was assigned to LAX under the jurisdiction of Los Angeles County.
Yes.
The Los Angeles City, right? So was it a job, or how hard was it a job to negotiate to a point to take it over?
Well, timing was everything. The City of Ontario fought with the City of Los Angeles for almost a decade to try to get it back. And he had a new mayor, Mayor Garcetti, who wanted to be a good regional player. And myself being elected to the county position gave new players to start talking. And so it still took the attorneys a little over a year to write the agreement out. But it was both our interest to make it happen, and we did. And but there's a lot of work to be done still since we got the airport back.
Of course. Well, conceptually, you have to have the leaders who has the entrepreneurship kind of a mind to start even the negotiation, right? So I believe the time when it was within the authority of LAX, though, it wasn't making a lot of money.
Oh, it purposely.
Wasn't functioning quite well.
No, they wanted to keep it as an emergency airport only. Obviously,
emergency airport only.
Yeah, in Los Angeles' best interest is to keep all the flights going to LA, because you have all the sales tax, the parking revenues, the TOT tax from the hotels, the international travelers that will stay and do business there. So in the city's perspective, it was not a good deal, because now they have competition. They have Ontario. But for consumers in Southern California, now you have a choice. You have multiple airports that you can plan accordingly.
Yeah, from the point of making Ontario like a plan B, right? So somebody asking for emergency landing, and yet LAX is full, and you may go ahead and land Ontario. That only, to the point now, it is opens as a independent airport internationally.
Correct.
Right. That's a kind of like many miles of a jump.
It is. Well, and I want to say they exclusively used for emergencies. They left domestic flights there, but because we didn't have the volume, it was hard for our prices to be competitive with LAX. They still preferred, especially that international traveler, to come into Los Angeles. They still do. Okay, but for us, we want that choice to have the international traveler come to Inland Empire. And we have one of the biggest air markets in the United States on our own. Compared to most other international airports throughout the United States, we have a bigger population that surrounds us. But it was always in the shadows of Los Angeles because it was kept that way. They didn't put any improvements into the terminals. They specifically said no international flights. They didn't want to come there. So they kept a lot of that stuff out. So the airport shrunk over a period of time to, I think it was lowest ridership was about 3.5 million. At the highest peak, it was at 7. And now we're back closer to 6 million already just since we took it over.
I see. I believe as one of the leaders and of course the actual negotiator in the deal, there's a lot of, I would say, wrestling wisdoms involved, right?
Well, it took a leader of LA to look outside the city of LA. And that's what Mayor Garcetti did. He knew it was time. LAX is going to be maxed out. It's maxed out, the number of flights. It has obviously huge traffic issues getting in and out of the airport. You get off the freeway, it still takes you 45 minutes to get to the parking terminal. They have their own issues. So they knew they needed to bring more. And it was better for us to be taking it back and be in charge of our own destiny. And I don't think they thought we could react as quickly as we have to grow it. But I'm very thankful to the Mayor Garcetti for having that bigger vision for Southern California.
All right.
We needed it.
And plus, the diversification really helped a lot to reduce the congestion of LAX. Every time from where I live in Rosemead, for example, to fly to LAX, to fly international, I have almost to put up the land time hours,
as much as your air
connection hours to the airport, and on way back also the same thing though, equivalent to the air time.
Yeah.
14 hours. I have to do it 3 hours way in and 3 hours waiting, on and so on and so forth. And plus even the SAT, I mean the safety test, going through that is a dilemma.
Yeah, especially coming back in and going through customs immigration, it's very slow, and that's the alternative we offer. Now we don't have as many flights, obviously, we don't have as many destinations yet, but we're growing, we're adding, and that's what's exciting about the airport to be part of. Is I've flown internationally a couple times out of my airport, and I'm literally off the plane and through customs immigration in less than 5 minutes with my luggage. I mean, there's no waiting. Yeah, so.
To my audiences, I would like to have to share with you what I understand about my VIP guest, the Honorable Curtis Hagman. He was originally from Chino Hills. As a council member and the mayor of Chino Hills, his favorite thought was to think out of the box. Was that right?
Yep.
Right.
I still do
when
that.
I first touched base with him for the thinking out of the box concept, I did spend a lot of time with him about how you can do it. Actually, he proved himself during his mayorship times at the city levels, and also later all the terms at the Assembly House till he kind of termed out. He practiced the differences between thinking with the inside of your office and the thinking outside the box. Right? That's quite something that we would like to have the audience know, by which they would understand the difference to have a politician play at politics and to have a businessman, or a politician with a business mind to play politics.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, my dear friend, let's take a very short moment out. When we come back, we'll continue with this great conversation, which is in relation to a very great concept to think out of the box. With me is my dear friend, the Honorable Kurt Hagman of California, former House of Assembly, and the chairman of the San Bernardino County Board of Supervisors. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Everything expected and straight. It's like the scenes on Wayne.
My name is Paul James. I host the news.
And a Golden Angel Award ceremony.
Hello, my dear friends, my lovely audience, and welcome back to the show, Check Chow on the East West Show, which is exclusively sponsored by Wolfers, the Belgian royal family designated brand. I'm getting big. Royal family designated brand is supporting this show.
I think you should be wearing the crown or something.
Yeah, I know. Wish something. They would rather do something on here rather than. I forgot everything. I forgot everything today. They have 400 years of glorious history, and the rings were hand forged by 10 generations of the master craftsmen. That stands for, I believe, a testimony to the spectacular and the share of the royal glory. Back to the royal glory here, we're talking about a great man who we all love as leaders of nowadays time. We're talking about different styles. You're talking about the old style, you're talking about the nowadays style, the IT time style. You really have to quote unquote from him to think outside the box, right? And I came across his concept of think outside the box, I believe 15 years ago.
Yeah, it's been a while, yeah.
Well, we're all 50 years older, right? Okay. That time he was a mayor of Chino Hills, a council member of Chino Hills, and from there on, he kept the concept all the way to Assembly, and from Assembly went honorably stepping down to St. Gabriel County as elected with the possible historical vote. He started a new concept. I believe even before the finishing of the taking over of the airport, though, you started something with the IT time to really start showing a different look of the county, right?
I think technology, sometimes government, we're the last to improve and embrace technology because we naturally don't have competition. If I do a bad job at San Bernardino County, Riverside's not going to take me over or take my market share. So sometimes we fail to innovate as we should. So we have challenged my department heads and my staff to really start reinventing the way we provide public services. And I'm very, very proud to announce that the last 3 years running, we have won more awards than any other county in the United States, and we set the records of it. So we compete nationally against other counties for innovations. This year, we won 52 different innovation awards, which is the highest ever given. Last year was 49, and the year before that, 47. So we keep raising the bar as far as innovation. But there's a lot more we could do. You know, we use your tax dollars and everybody else's tax dollars to provide government services, but we need to be smart. We need to be on the cutting edge. We need to be able to offer that. And especially a county like San Bernardino. It's the largest geographical county in the United States.
The largest.
It's bigger than 9 states in size, and it's bigger than 13 states just in population in our county. So there's a lot to do, and we have 22,000 square miles to do it in.
Yeah, 22,000.
Yeah,
square miles.
It's a large place. So we're constantly reinventing the way we do business, and it's fun to be part of. It's fun to be. In fact, my charge to the county next year is Innovate 2020. We're going to re-look at everything we do from top to down.
Innovate 2020.
Yes. And so we're launching that. We're going to give awards and actually give a check to those the employees at the lowest level. I have 27,000 employees. You know, from the lowest level to the highest, to come up with an idea how we could be more efficient at our job and be able to do it better. And technology plays a huge, piece of this. And we do a lot of
heard
things.
that you started with the online inspection stuff.
We do, we used to have multiple courthouses within the San Bernardino County, and with the budget cuts in the state, they cut like Needles Courthouse, Big Bear Courthouse, Chino Courthouse. And one of the things is if you lived in Needles and have to go now court in San Bernardino, it's 3.5 hours, 4 hours one way to get there. If you live on top of the mountain in Big Bear in winter, you may not be able to make it to your court appearance because the roads are closed down.
If you do not get the job done the same day, though, you got to stay over till next day.
Yes.
And a 2-day job.
So what we did is we started providing court service remotely. So now I reopen my courthouse in Needles and Big Bear 1 day a week, and the judge Skypes it. So you're seeing a virtual judge on that.
I see.
And we moved. We have one of the best departments for building inspection. If you want to build something in San Bernardino, you never have to set foot in the county building. You can do everything online. You can have your meetings virtually. Everything's done digital. No big rolls of papers when you go building.
Yeah, you're right.
Paperless. And so we're doing that in every department. And it's a lot of fun.
In other cities and counties, especially counties, you often see those guys, they have the planning department, and they have the zoning department, and so on and so forth.
Yeah.
And you see engineers with a kind of bundles of blueprints. They talk about it face to face. And of course, you're talking about 3.5 hours of drive from, say, Victorville, right? So that's real. That's good 3.5 hour drive.
Yep.
Right? So way in and on, way out. It's a shame to the time we call IT time.
Yep.
And yet it is not everybody's seen it. Or if we say lots of people have seen it, it is a very, very few people who jumped on it to actually get something done. Like the virtual court, how do you call it?
Yeah, virtual court, yeah.
You face a virtual judge, right? Say, for my driving ticket.
Yep.
Right? I said, dear judge, I'm sorry, I was speeding, blah, 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 blah. Job done in 3 minutes. And you don't have to go back
all the way
forth.
down, back and forth, yeah. We're doing as many things as we can online. So we're very aggressive. There's a lot of places we need to go, but we're still growing very quickly at it. Yeah, I'm starting a county air division. It's going to be drone technology. So individual departments have their own drones. We'll fly bigger and better ones and combine services. So it's fun. It's fun to be part of it.
For zoning, you started using drones?
We can use drones. You could take your building inspection. So if you want to inspect you call it for the building inspector, same thing. My staff's got to drive from San Bernardino out to Victorville.
Yeah, they have to go there and come back.
Yeah, so now you can take your smartphone, you call in, we virtually look at your building inspection, we electronically sign you off.
I see.
So there's a lot that we can do with technology, and we're starting to improve it. And it's all from being efficient and trying to be more responsive to our residents and to make things happen quicker.
To your knowledge, all the 5 counties on the horizontal level, though, whoever as the county does the same thing you do.
I don't think anybody is as advanced as we are yet. I'm sure they will get there, and they'll try their pilot projects and stuff. But I think on all the different fronts we're on right now, we're embracing the most.
No question they should, right?
Yeah.
They should and they will.
And
right?
they'll learn from
but
us.
The thing is that nowadays, at present time, though, all horizontally, the 5 counties,
Los Angeles,
Riverside,
Orange,
Los Angeles, Orange County, so on and so forth, Ventura County. So nobody has gone to that far as a stage yet.
No, not that I'm aware of.
All right, I see. In this country, I know San Bernardino is the biggest county, as a county of the whole nation, though. Do you know any county all across the nation about similar to your size, though, who has done the same thing?
Not in all the different fields. I'm not saying we're the best at each field, but the spectrum of all the different departments, the 40 some odd departments and agencies we're working on, that's why we keep winning the awards every year for the best county in the United States and the best innovation, because we keep coming up with all our different departments are working hand in hand now.
Yeah, please understand me. You haven't paid me to scratch your back, right? What I'm trying to is to make it recognized by my audiences. At this current time, we call it IT time, right? We really have to do things like what you do now. And the whole concept behind it is to think out of the box.
Yeah, reinvent the way we do our business, just like you have to do in your private sector. And small business has to reinvent themselves all the time to stay competitive. We in government don't have that natural competition, so we lose that ability to reinvent sometimes. We do it by necessity or because we're ordered to do it by the federal, Congress or by state. But to take voluntarily to change systems to make it more efficient is not done as often. So that's the culture we're trying to instill.
And also the basic concept change lies in the area that you consider yourself the government as a service or as an authority, right? So sometimes in some areas you are the authority, somewhere in some areas
We
and you
provide
actually
services,
do
yeah.
as a provider of services.
Correct.
Am I right? Very good, very good.
Oh, I don't know if we're going to take a break, but one of the ideas I took back from my sister city of Wuxi is you have a city ID over there, right? It has the picture, the QR code, the swipe, and everything else on it. And all the city services in Wuxi you're done with that or your smartphone. So we're now doing that over here in San Bernardino. We got a prototype card, and for myself to get my pay or check out a library book or put a building plan in or get some kind of government service,
For
you just swipe it.
multiply purpose.
For multiple agencies, we're trying to tie that all
And the
in.
data bank will deal with all the things, all the information.
Everything on the backside, yep.
Very good. And my dear friend, my lovely audience, the fact is very convincing. Fact is that you have a change of hand in the county, and the county show you a different look. The look is that catch up to the IT time, and it is really by using the benefit of current technology to benefit who is the end user, the people. All right.
Exactly.
Okay. Let's take a very short moment now. With me today is Honorable Kurt Hagman, former Assemblyman of California, gloriously stepping down when term out, and again elected as the county supervisor of San Bernardino County. Now he's the chairman of the San Bernardino County Board of Supervisors, right? And the chairman of small business, and the chairman of the international airport, and he's a commissioner of the international airport, the whole collaboration. So stay with us, we will be back.
Everything expected to straight. It's like scenes on waves.
My name is Paul James. I host the news every morning.
And a Golden Angel Award ceremony.
Hello, dear friends, lovely audiences. Welcome back to the show. Jack Chow, your host on the East-West show, which is exclusively sponsored by Wolfers, the Belgian royal family designated brand of jewelry that has 400 years of history and hand-forged the rings, hand-forged by 10 generations of the hand-forged a master of craftsman, which stands for a testimony to the spectacular and a share of the royal glory. Back to the discussion today. I'm very happy that we have this moment out of his busy schedule. And the worst be for my waiting outside in the sun
I know,
for
you had
30 minutes.
You were very
Yeah,
patient with me.
right.
Thank you, Jack.
I really appreciate it. I appreciate your coming on behalf of my audiences. I know the busier you are, the better the content, right? The busier you are, the better everybody, right? Everybody. So the point is that I want to put you here to face my audience, to let your audience know what you have done, right? Like the previous point I made towards the end of the first segment is that there is a huge difference between you put a professional politician on the spot of doing your politics, and you put somebody, a politician, with a entrepreneurship kind of mind on the same spot. Okay, now you see the two results. The results are so different, right? You go to check about Ontario Airport, you go check about the county hall of San Bernardino County, you see the difference.
Well, it was always frustrating with me in the state assembly when I was one of 80 electeds that only about 7 or 8 of us ever written a payroll check in their life. but we're regulating all the business in California.
You're saying not even 10%?
Nah, roughly about 10% or less than 10%.
Roughly about 10%.
Ever did
A little shy from 10%.
Yeah, ever had business experience in their life.
I see.
And they work for somebody else, but they didn't know how to run a business and how to be competitive.
It might be an exaggeration to never know how to cut a payroll check. However, it really tells the difference of knowing or not knowing business.
Yeah, you have 85% of our jobs created by small business in the United States.
Yes.
And to have that firsthand approach of what it's like to go hungry when you don't have enough for payroll, or to change everything because someone thought of something better than you, makes you stay on the edge all the time. And I think that's very important for us electeds to have some experience with that. And
How many years are you in position now for the county supervisor?
I'm on my 5th year now, and I could go a total of 12.
I see. Very good. Very good. And I believe you will be re-elected. I have no doubt about that, because judging by what you do, though. Okay, now for the 5 years on the job as a chair of the small business owners, right? What have you done for them?
Well, it's interesting. One of the things that when I went into San Bernardino County that I want to do is be very business friendly. And we also had no international relations, no sister cities, nothing. So one of the first things that I started doing is making sister cities. And now, today we have 3, Wuxi, China, Taiyuan, Taiwan, and Incheon, Korea. But it takes, and I got economic development strictly focused on international trade and working. So I have staff on it. But it takes a lot of work for them to set up a delegation trip.
Especially.
So if you've seen that in the past, where they take 3 months to set everything up, I was like, no, that's not going to work, because we need to get on things right away. So we're going to be opening up probably within the next month an International Trade Convention Center in our county building. So we'll have all the latest technology, wall screen TVs and stuff. And our goal is to set a subject a month that we can, let's say it's medical care next month, and then tourism the following month. And we'll notify all our businesses who are interested in that field here that we're going to connect with our international partners over there. They're going to do the same thing, and we'll bring them together to discuss. And we'll help make the agendas, but we'll give them the technology, and we have the expertise staff to help someone who's developing a product here to export, or vice versa, how to import something. To get away with that stuff and let the business people talk to business people so they can expand their stuff.
In other words, you're not talking about international trade as a slogan.
No, it's a reality.
Banner, right?
Yeah.
It's a reality. Actually, last time when I heard you were in Wuxi, I thought, well, probably there for sightseeing, right? Well, of course, you did a good sightseeing and bring the city together.
Unfortunately, my dozen plus trips to China, I've only had 1 day of sightseeing. So one of these days I have to go back and get some more in.
Good.
But yeah, it's important. We're on an international platform. San Bernardino County is the e-retail center of the world. We have more shipping coming in here, and more. I have 17 warehouse buildings of Amazon in the county. So, especially with our airport and everything else, to have those connections and those relationships that we can talk face to face.
Especially by hooking up with Wuxi. I don't know about passenger transportation. I'm talking about cargo transportation.
They're huge, yes.
You're talking about a huge quantity.
Yes. And for Ontario Airport, all the North America airports who have shipping hubs, regional hubs, we had UPS as a regional hub. No airport has more than one. We signed a deal already, and they're building Federal Express, $320 million project. So we have UPS and Federal Express now. We're negotiating with DHL. We're negotiating with China Post. And so we'll have all the major international carriers come to Ontario Airport. And so we're working on new cargo delivery systems, automated to different warehouses around the area. But it's growing quite rapidly. So it's very important for us to stay connected with our international partners.
Using it as a hub for the country, though.
Yes.
To reach out other airports, right, to diverse the cargo.
Yeah, that comes in like FedEx Express will bring the international cargo here and then go to other airports for delivery and that so on.
I see. So the 3 cities, Wuxi of China, Jichang of South Korea, and Taipei of Taiwan, right? All right, those are not the biggest cities, but they are busiest cities.
They're business cities, and we're very business
yeah.
friendly.
And also busy business cities.
Yes, and we're trying to be very open. So our unemployment rate is under 3% right now in San Bernardino County.
Under 3.
Under 3, which San Bernardino County has never
I know
led
the nation is
the state-
3.7.
Yeah, the
but you're
state or
under
the
3.
nation. We're under 3. So we're growing. We're trying to make sure we have skilled labor force, and we have obviously land to expand business. And so we want to be open for business all the time. And our attitude for our whole department is, what can we do to help you? Which is not normally the case for government. Normally the case, the government is like, we're here to make sure you do everything right, and we're going to check you at everything. No, we're here to bring people in to help your idea become fulfilled.
In addition to the sistership, which helped to create a business, does it function or have it function in a way of bringing investors?
Yes, we've seen a lot more investment in San Bernardino County since we opened it up. I probably get a call every other week from someone saying, hey, I have a friend who's looking for a warehouse or looking for a business, and we get them all the data. But we also do a lot more things. We have federal dollars to train your workforce. So if EDI want to hire 20 people and they be skilled, whatever, audio, video, and this, we could train them for you.
And you have the incentive for opening a business within the territory.
Yes, and so we could train staff, we have tax incentives, we have a lot of different things. So we try to bring all that together, and we brought some big national and international names both into San Bernardino County. I'm stealing a lot of stuff from LA County, which I'm probably not happy with, but it's a better place to do business.
Last time I remember you showed me development map in the shape, very colorful map, in the shape of a dragon though. Is that a whole thing? You're the
my international mission training center. Yeah, I would love to see that happen someday.
Yeah.
I think we are, as we get more and more international flights, which we're doing now. We have daily flights to Taiwan right now. We're very hopeful in the next few weeks we can announce mainland China daily, and a couple other carriers to Europe and other places. We're getting a lot more domestic flights nonstop. So as that international hub develops even more, we can have more international business here.
All right, man of words, man of a plan, right? Man of a concept. Well, who thinks out of the box, right? Okay, my dear friend, let's take a short moment now. We come back to continue right away. Stay with us.
Everything expected, straight. It's like the same runway.
My name is Paul James. I host this news every morning.
And a golden angel award ceremony.
Hello, dear friends, lovely audiences, my brothers and sisters. Welcome back to the East West Show. Jack Chow, your host on the East West Show, which is exclusively sponsored by Wolfers, the Belgian royal family designated brand of jewelry that has 400 years of history, hand-forged by 10 generations of master craftsmen, which stands for a testimony to the spectacular and a share of the royal glory. That leads us to the show today. Today with me is my dear friend, a dear friend to the whole community, dear friend to California, Honorable Kurt Hagman, former assemblyman to California Assembly House 55 District, and nowadays the county supervisor of San Bernardino County, and also chair of the San Bernardino County Board of Supervisors. He also chairs the Small Business Owners Organization, and also he is the commissioner of the Ontario International Airport, which is a really big chunk of money we're talking about. And I say easier than said than done. It really took good 5 years for my friend, Honorable Kurt Hagman, to have gone so far where he is. Now, you mentioned about opening up direct flight internationally, right? So far, what do you have?
Well, we have daily flights to Mexico and to Taiwan. So
To Mexico and to Taiwan?
Yes.
You see. To which city of Taiwan?
Taipei.
Taipei.
Yeah.
And to which city of Mexico?
Oh, I gotta look them up, but it's not the resort cities as the business cities.
But inner.
Yeah.
Inner city.
Yeah.
Inner country, not
Yeah.
the border city,
No,
right?
no,
Okay.
yeah.
Very good. To China, are you planning? I last heard that you are planning.
Yes, we're very hopeful.
shortly.
Very hopeful. Now, first, you got to look at the demographics. Out of everybody who flies out of LAX who lives in Southern California, 70% of those people live closer to our airport. So the market's been there, and that's the China Airlines flight to Taiwan they used to be 1/3 the flights out of LAX. Well, then they came to Ontario, so they took 50% of LAX flights that came to Ontario already. They're filled up every flight, so they may be adding a second flight even. And now their market shares rose to 2/3 of the whole market. So we have another airline from Taiwan very close to signing to come in. And we also have 2 airlines in mainland China that we're actually hosting a dinner for one this week that we're very hopeful that will announce. I can't announce until they announce the direct flights to Beijing.
I see. Which is the air company?
Air China.
Air China. All right. Okay,
That's when we're seeing the dignitaries on this week. They haven't officially announced anything yet, but I know we've met with them several times, and everything looks very good. Now, there's a lot more politics, as you know, that goes in with the international flights between U.S. and China.
That's an exciting news.
Yes,
exciting news.
We're very much.
It diverses a lot. I wonder if you have ever been to the airport on a Wednesday to see the Air China going back flight. I was there several times because the departure was about midnight something. You could see 300 to 400 passengers, all in a very crowded way on a day-to-day basis.
Yes, absolutely. The market's definitely there. We would like to see them do a late night flight as well, because when they land in the morning, if there's connection flights, it gives the chance to get a connecting flight.
And amazingly, if you really go into it, though, you will find a majority of them leave their home, live east of LA,
Sure.
all the way,
all San Gabriel Valley,
all the way San Gabriel Valley, Hacienda, all the way to Walnut, even to Pomona, that area.
You know, when you fly LAX, they tell you get there 3 hours early for international flight.
Oh,
right?
yeah, of course.
We tell you an hour.
No question.
So
no question.
You can save 2 hours right there.
Yeah.
Multiple hours in driving. The parking's cheaper, in and out. We have we added 2 new lounges, so you have a lounge experience. We have all that stuff now.
People may say, hey, it's exaggeration. Time is the money. The matter of fact, time is money. Time is money. You have to schedule yourself 3 hours and a half, especially. Right? It's better 3 hours. If you have 2 luggages, you better be 3.5 rather than 3.
Yeah.
Right. So, and to fly from Ontario, from where I live, it takes about 15 minutes to get to Ontario, and it takes about 1 hour to get to LA, depending on traffic. Right. Maybe longer, something like that. That makes lots of sense. Right? When do you have a specific date of launching a?
No, I don't have
voyage?
that information. I'm hoping that your watchers will, if they're business travelers and you go often to China, to write your carrier and say we prefer the option to go of Ontario, to let them know. And that's how I got China Airlines. I met with the head of the board. I said, look, all you need to do is survey your passengers. I guarantee you they'll tell you. Right? They did a survey and they came out right away. 92% say they prefer to fly out of Ontario than LAX.
May I announce right now?
Sure.
Yeah. My audience, if you want to fly Ontario to Beijing, well, you better write to me. Tell my DJ at gmail.com. Or you can write direct to me, Jack at edimediainc.com.
Yeah.
Or CSIJack at hallmate.com. We'll put it on the screen. You write to respond to us, feedback. The more feedback we have, the sooner we see a flight from Ontario to Beijing Airport.
Yes.
Is that so?
Yeah.
Right. So in addition to that, I'm in the secondary cities. Not necessarily by quality secondary, I mean by reputation or by frequency secondary.
Oh, we would love to. We don't stop anybody. It's as you know, there's an agreement between the United States and China of how many capital cities can be flown to per day, 150 flights a day. So anybody who wants to come to Ontario has to remove a flight from someplace else right now, only to mainland China. There's no other restrictions anywhere else. We would love to have 10 flights tomorrow, and we're ready for them. So we're very much looking forward to hopefully some of that stuff being renegotiated. I know with the new Beijing airport's going on, there's going to be a lot of shuffling, and hopefully the two governments get together and say, well, maybe 200 is better than 150, and there's definitely the market share for it. All the flights are full, and we definitely have the demographics and the data to show any airline that goes to Asia that we're definitely better off.
Once you do establish a direct line, though, does that mean the cheaper airfare, or does that mean, if not, does that mean faster airtime?
Both.
Both.
I don't know about
Both
faster
ways.
airtime, but definitely faster to get on the airplane, faster to get off the airplane. Because when you land, you're the only plane getting off. There's not 50 planes coming in at the same time.
Yeah.
And then the prices are set by the airlines. So I could tell you that we are much cheaper to land and operate out of Ontario than we are LAX.
I see.
1/6 the cost.
Oh, and the customs. Never forget customs.
We got customs
Right.
immigration. It's all brand new
Yeah,
technology.
you have Ontario custom immigration.
Yes.
Oh, that makes us a huge difference.
Yep.
Right.
So we already have them there.
Every time you land at international there, the moment you land, you are putting at least 1.5 hours on top.
Yeah.
Because of going through immigration.
Every time I fly through my airport, it takes me 5 to 7 minutes to get out.
5 to 7 minutes get out.
That's with luggage checked. That's how fast.
That's quicker than the bathroom visit.
Yes.
I go bathroom for
And
15
we have,
minutes.
right now we're rebuilding, well, we have our customs immigration called the FIS facility that's old because we inherited very old infrastructure. We're building brand new 3-story section onto our other terminal. So that'll be done in about a year. But right now we still have all brand new equipment inside. So all the new scan things and picture and machines, all that's brand new. And we have a lot of them. So
Does
there's
that
someone
mean
there.
the CIA, not CIA, I mean the
TSA?
The CSA cuts you an office there, or they give you a permission, you go ahead, get
No,
your
no,
own stuff.
It's, we wrote the check for the equipment. We actually pay for them to be there, and we write our check for equipment. And my goal, obviously, is to be the most technologically advanced airport there is. So
Okay.
we're working on, we have a lot of work to do. The buildings were 30 years old. So we're replacing the air conditioning systems and escalators and elevators. I bought new security equipment for the screenings.
Given the way
Yeah.
I understand you, you will not buy yourself a equipment 30 years old.
No. So we'll hopefully it'll be,
All right.
as we remodel, it keeps going better and better.
All right, very good, very good. And I was a while ago asking you about the secondary cities such as Xi'an or Shenzhen or Suzhou, Hangzhou, those hot spots for sightseeing. Though.
Absolutely, it'd be great.
So those are also into consideration, right?
Oh yeah, it's not, the airport authority and the airport has no restrictions. We would love to see a flight from 10 cities starting tomorrow. It's those airlines, and I think that's what the biggest thing I notice when I go overseas and advertise our airport. One's the name. Ontario, you're in Ontario, Canada? No, we're basically the secondary LAX airport.
Ontario, LA,
But
yeah.
they get the name confused. So that's why it's important for your watchers and listeners to tell their friends in government and in the airlines.
Yeah, all right.
Ontario is just the East LA airport. We got Ontario LAX West, and you have, just like you have 2 airports in, you have 3 now in Shanghai and
What's
2
the
in
Ontario
Beijing.
ID?
It's ONT.
OND.
ONT, yeah.
ONC.
Yeah, but it's basically closer to downtown LA than LAX is. But I think keeping the name is maybe a mistake, but we're still Ontario Airport. So everyone thinks you're in Canada or something. No, we're an LA-based airport.
Name-wise, I believe Ontario is a louder name. It's a louder name than anything else, right? And also the way I understand is that for you guys to start a direct flight, when the potentials are there, the customers are there though, you need a good organizer to put the people related on the table, and then next thing you see a flight.
Yeah, like I said, as soon as China Airlines did their survey of their regular business customers, they emailed them out, which you prefer. 92% said Ontario. They switched it that day. I mean, literally, they came in like a week later. They weren't even advertised. The first couple months were kind of rocky because they didn't advertise.
Okay,
But
my
then
dear
they're very
friend, I
strong.
believe you all heard that, right? Write to me, right? Say, tell my DJ at gmail.com. I want to fly Ontario to China direct. As short like that. I want to fly direct Ontario to China, Ontario to Beijing, Ontario to Xi'an, Ontario to Suzhou, to Hangzhou, to anywhere. Just write to me. I am collecting information on behalf of Chair of the San Bernardino County Supervisor Board of Supervisors. How about that? Right?
Sounds good.
Good. All right, to conclude, I have about 30 seconds.
Jack, it's always a pleasure to come on here. Thank you for getting the information out, and we'll have you come to a tour of the airport one of these days of all our improvements and what we're doing. We got a lot of exciting things coming to San Bernardino County right now.
All right, good. When you start the Virgin flight, pack me in.
Okay, sounds good.
Very
We'll
good.
send there.
All right, my audience, thank you for watching. And to Kurt, thank you very
Thanks,
much.
Jack.